Yeah.
All right, here we
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
All right, well.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome to Freedom Chat, where real Americans speak their minds. And no topic is off limits. No scripts, no judgment, just honest conversation, raw, unfiltered, and free. If you're ready to challenge the narrative and celebrate true freedom, you're in the right place. This is Freedom Chat.
So what's the first topic?
Looks like Mark got froze a little bit there.
Well, Dennis,
All
I
right,
see that
well,
the
we've got a
Broncos must have had a good time.
ton of technical difficulties going on. And we're going to have to run with that. I'm going to go to Micro Center today and see about getting a cable.
What do you need, like a splitter or something?
Well, we lost him.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's having some serious issues today, it looks like.
Yeah, we got some minor issues. All right. Let me get a little patient. What the hell? I don't know what it's doing. All right, can you guys hear me? Or are we just all a mess?
No, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
We're freezing up a lot.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but keep going away.
Yeah, and you're
we
freezing
got
up
a
a lot.
complete train wreck going on right now, so. All right, we're waiting on Dennis. Mom, I know I can see you. Fuck. All right, I think we're on.
Dennis is there. I see.
Yeah, I'm here.
Jesus Christ. I see Dennis. I see all of you. All right, so technical difficulties aside. Oh, fuck. What the hell? All right, I'm going to refresh and see what I get, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Can we? Are we better now?
A little bit.
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
think we're. All
You're
right.
still freezing
We're going
up a
to
lot.
try to get through this. I apologize. I am going to deal with this. Yeah, I'm going to deal with this. Today, I'm going to go to Micro Center after I cook.
All the cables I have at the house don't work.
Can you guys hear me?
Off and on.
All right. This is turning into a disaster.
What'd your cats do? Eat your cord? I was gonna say dogs, but I'm the only one with a stupid dog.
But I gotta hide my cords from the cats, that's for sure.
The issue at hand is that network, and sometimes I get a good solid signal and sometimes I don't. So I'm either going to get a signal booster for the computer itself, which should help a lot, or I'm going to get a cable and run the cable down and a network, like a hard network. So that's what's going on. So that because this is bad. This is not okay.
Yeah, you're hearing like every other word and you're freezing up quite a bit.
I hope that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I'm going to have to go to Micro Center and deal with this. Kind of crappy. I've got viewers, which is cool, but I've got technical issues, guys. So I'm going to apologize up front. Since we're just going to try to work through this, unless someone jumps in and cuts us out. Let's just start right. So Dennis, let's talk about Cincinnati.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of issues going on there.
So do you want me to, or do you want?
Oh, it don't matter. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just
So-
making observations. It looks to me like that city, at least, maybe this whole state, seems to be having issues with sanctuary-like attitudes and policies regarding law enforcement and that type of thing.
I'm not sure
Right.
it's the whole state, but I'm sure
okay.
it's the
Hang on one second,
big
guys.
cities.
I'm going to try to do something real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know the whole state because I don't know if is Ohio red? I don't even know.
All
Ohio's red,
Okay,
basically, except for the big cities.
right.
Some of the big cities like Cincinnati.
Yeah, that seems to be the trend with sanctuary issues. It's like maybe the state is red, but because
Well,
Colorado, a big chunk of Colorado is red, but of course, the main city in Colorado or cities seem to be more blue, sanctuary.
well, it's called. They were gerrymandered to be that way.
Yeah. Oh,
Something people didn't pay a lot of attention to,
yeah.
but it's been going on slowly for over the years. As I keep pointing out to people on Facebook, they're idiots.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of this gerrymandering stuff like on Fox, and it just seems crazy to me. I don't know what's going on.
It's something that needs to be done due to population changing in a state,
Right.
but it's been done basically in many states, well, not many states, but in certain states, mostly by the Democrats, and because they're the ones in power,
Right.
and they don't make it balanced at all, because it's supposed to be a way to balance.
Right. But
And
that's
it's
due
not.
is that due to the census that was the last census?
Well, and the census too, yeah. And now the states that are counting illegals on the census, which they shouldn't be, but
Right.
if it's a warm body, it is. If it's a warm body and it can breathe, it's counted on the census.
Yeah.
And for that reason, states want these illegals,
Right.
like California
Right.
and Colorado, which I keep pointing out too.
So like states like New York don't want them, but they want them.
Right. Well, and then South Dakota and North Dakota, places like that, don't have that particular issue yet because they don't have the influx. They didn't allow the influx of the huge amount of illegals.
Right.
All right, I'll shut up, Mark. You can talk.
Still having issues, Mark?
I guess he can't talk.
He looks like he's still having some issues.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's Levin did a really good show on the gerrymandering and how it happened, why it happened, and the reason for the illegals, that sort of stuff. The other night, it was quite interesting.
Oh yeah, Mark Levin. Yeah. I
Yeah.
like his shows. I like watching his shows because of how passionate he is. I mean, he gets mad, and I like that because that's what people need to be doing.
That, and he teaches from the Constitution.
Yes. Yeah.
And points out where things like where gerrymandering got its name and on, it was quite an interesting show.
Yeah. I try to watch him every weekend if I can.
So,
yeah, he's huge on the Constitution. I always thought that's why I always thought Mark would like his show because he refers to the Constitution all the time. I mean, almost every single subject he touches on, he's got the Constitution that he's going by.
Right. I guess another issue that I have that's something that I really am, I guess angry is not exactly the right word. Why be angry over something I can't stop? But it's people being elected to Congress who cannot, due to their religion, actually put their hand on a Bible and swear to uphold the Constitution.
Right.
Omar's one of them, and there's a bunch of the other ones.
Yeah.
Muslims should not be allowed to be in the Congress. I don't care what they say.
Yeah, I agree. I don't care if they're a citizen or not. If they can't put their hand on the Holy Bible, then that's a problem.
Yes. And their religion prohibits allegiance to any other religion and or country other than Islam.
Right.
And for that reason, they shouldn't even be allowed to be in the Congress.
Yeah. No, I agree. There was I can't remember where she was from, but it's another one that's kind of like Omar, but she's from somewhere else.
Guatemala.
Yeah, Guatemala. Yeah, that's the one. And she's totally Guatemala first, not America, and that's just not that's not going to fly.
Well, they should throw her ass out.
Yep. Totally. 100%. All of them. Any of those that,
Yep.
that, and even the ones that pretend, because I was doing I was on Facebook and I ran across this article about Mandandy or whatever his name is in New York. And,
All right. Can you hear me now?
can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. The reason you couldn't hear me is because I had the mic off. I've been trying to get everybody on board with I'm going to disconnect and reconnect, and I've been doing that a couple times. But because I didn't know that I had my microphone muted, I couldn't talk to you guys. It was getting a little irritating on my end because I didn't realize that I was muted out. I want to go back to Cincinnati. And I was listening to you guys as much as I can listen to you when I'm not able to get a full-on connection. And we were talking about the gerrymandering. Okay, gerrymandering is not limited to Democrats. Republicans do it too. The difference
Yes, that's true.
is as much as we don't want to talk about it, that's what they base it on. Where the Republicans, and this is just my observation based on what I've seen on these electoral maps after gerrymandering, the Republicans do not base their mapping on race. They base it on the vote of Democrat. That is something we need to talk about. If you talk to a black person who hasn't been educated, like Officer Tatum or any one of these black people who have turned the Hodge twins, they will tell you we grew up Democrat. We started Democrat. We don't know anything else. Family racially driven because you tend to follow where you come from. And as much as people don't like to hear that, when you come from that kind of a demographic, when you come from that kind of a culture, you're going to go back to that kind of culture because you're comfortable with it. Okay. What my problem is people that are in positions of authority, and I don't say power because I don't believe that they should have anything to do with power, but authority. Like this city councilwoman who said that the victims of that attack, and it might have started out a fight, but it turned into a mob. And for her to sit there and say they asked for that beatdown. Okay, no, they didn't ask for it down. A fight is not a beatdown. It's not remotely the same. So for her to say the things that she said it's a racial statement.
Yeah, big time.
And we don't want to. Nobody wants to hear this. But the fact of the matter is that is a racial statement. What other reason would you say that they deserve to get a beatdown? Because, and I'm going to go into this one real good. and I know that we are way past the point of no return for a break, so I'm not even going to bother for a bit.
Yeah, let's just go to the next one.
But fact of the matter is if this had been black on black, fact of the matter is that had this been black on black, the media doesn't even sniff at it. In fact, the media barely sniffed at it because it was black on white.
Right.
But if it were white on black, it would be front pages. You would see it everywhere on social media. And it's kind of like what Morgan Freeman once said. If you want to kill off racism, stop talking about it. The only problem with that is when something like this happens, you need to talk about it with the message being, this is never okay. You don't even do that.
Mark.
They don't even do that. What happened in Cincinnati should have never happened.
They right about now, they would just now be putting out the fires that were set in Cincinnati if that had been white on black. In Cincinnati.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Fox News is doing it, and some of the more conservative news channels are making those statements and are shouting that shout. The problem is, it isn't. If news was unbiased, this attack would be on all of the networks, and it would be shown in the same light on all of the networks.
Right.
Right.
Which is violence of this kind has no place to.
Right.
I also wanted to talk about what Mom was just talking about, which is people of Islamic faith not being in Congress. Well, they used to not be allowed into Congress. That is, don't take my word for it. That's my favorite statement. Don't take my word for it. Look it up your damn selves. People that had that faith were not allowed into Congress because they would not show loyalty to anything outside of their own religion. The Constitution doesn't say anything about religious it talks about religious freedom, of course, but what it's saying, the Constitution drives the bus. Well, they're not willing to accept the Constitution driving the bus. And I'm going to get into all of that here in a minute, but we talk about and have a promise. Well, when you see the comments that come out of Ilhan Omar's mouth, and you see the comments that come out of that girl from she's Argentine, I think, or of Argentinian descent, and they blatantly stand up in a very public forum and tell the world that their loyalties lie with another nation over the United States. There should be censorship motions with intent to remove from Congress, because you cannot uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States with fucking BFE. And I've been hot about this for a minute because I was hot about it years ago when all of this stuff with Omar has never shown loyalty to this country. And this goes back to the left media. These people on the left media, you know damn good and well they're propagandists. You know damn good and well they have no interest in truth. If they had interest in truth, they would call her ass out. Why did you say that in that forum? Why did you say, I want my people to know that my loyalty and my priorities are with Somalia, and I'm going to use the American public constitutional system to do it? You know what? Your happy ass should have been deported within days of making that statement. There's no way you belong in the halls of Congress. Period.
Right.
So how in the hell is it, and this really pisses me off, how is it that you have a majority in the halls of Congress and you do nothing? You allow these people to continue to spew this bullshit. Why do you allow it? And then we allow it because we don't force our congressman. Get on the phone with Jason Crow, Mom. I've called him. Hey, why haven't you denounced all this crap? Well, I can tell you why. I don't give a shit any more than anybody else does.
Yeah, Jason Crow's a piece of.
And I'm sorry, I went on a little bit of a tangent and went nuclear, but and it's not that they're useless; it's that they're dangerous. Okay, I think everybody needs to understand that too. And what's even more dangerous is the Republican Congress people actually just turning a blind eye to it. You can't turn a blind eye to this.
I'm not sure they turn a blind eye to
this.
But I do think that we don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes. So I will give them a little bit of leeway on that. Unfortunately, you got to fight one fight at a time, and right now they're fighting another one.
I'm not. Okay, Mom,
But I agree. They should have been kicked out a long time ago.
Marjorie Taylor Greene calls them out on a daily basis. Okay. So this is what I'm getting at. Marjorie Taylor Greene has called them numerous times on the floor, public forum.
Right.
This is no different than that. They should be calling them out for everything, and they should be calling for removal. And none of them, not even MTG, is calling for removal. And every single one of them should be removed. Rashida Tlaib, you put any flag other than the American flag and your state flag outside of your office, you do not belong in Congress. I don't give a shit if you were elected or not. You have betrayed your oath. Period. You have gone against your word to the American people and to your constituents. You do not belong there.
And I don't care if you're a citizen or not.
It isn't a sex thing. It's where the fuck do you stand?
Right. And even if you're a citizen, if you're born here,
Dennis,
I don't care.
You brought up Mamdani.
If your allegiance is to anyone but the United States, you should not be in that office.
You brought up Mamdani, right?
Yes.
You know who endorsed Mamdani?
What's her Pocahontas?
If you show allegiance to anything outside of the United States of America, you do not belong in the halls of Congress.
Yeah.
I personally think that it is as simple as that.
Yeah,
so Dennis, you brought up Mamdani.
Yeah.
You know, Linda,
you're looking at a stone cold
have you heard of
communist.
What's that?
He's a communist.
So okay. All right, stop.
From Uganda.
Here's what's dangerous about this guy. Oh, Christ. Okay. What's scary is the people who are endorsing him.
Yeah.
You got him? You got her, Dennis?
Oh, yeah.
Dennis, have you looked up?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. She is endorsing him. You know how dangerous that bitch is? And yeah, I called her a bitch. She was an organizer of the Women's First movement. She was one of the organizers that went to the state, the nation's capital, with the Kavanaugh confirmation hearings.
Right.
She was one of the ones that organized that. She is a ardent supporter of BLM. And I got crappy ass connections.
Are you talking about Pocahontas?
No, I'm not talking about Pocahontas. I'm talking about Linda Sarsour, not Elizabeth Warren. Sarsour is nothing more than a communist, fascist little Muslim activist that is not interested in anything other than the destruction of our values.
Well, I didn't catch her name
she's
whenever
American.
you said it. I didn't catch her
she's
name
white.
whenever you said it.
Meanwhile, AOC, Linda Sarsour,
Yeah,
look her up. She's bad deal.
I know who you're talking about, but
Um,
earlier I didn't
Did
catch
you guys
her name
hear
when you
about
said it.
a former youth organizer, AOC?
Yes, well,
What? I couldn't hear you, Mom.
yeah.
Okay, so here's what's going on online right now. I have a really crappy connection, and it's affecting the studio.
Maybe
So
you ought
I
to cut it
apologize
short
for
today.
that.
You might have to cut this thing cut it short today and get it fixed before next
Yeah.
week.
We're
That
gonna
would be
we're gonna
bad.
cut this.
Yeah, I agree. This
Sure.
this is this isn't
Yeah,
working
we
out
have to
too well.
fuck my life.
I mean, we can only hear every other word, and you're
Heard you
freezing up
guys.
a lot. Yeah.
All right, so my frustration level is kind of done with a better connection. All right, guys.
Yep. Some days it works, some days it don't.
Today has been real bad. I will admit, I haven't seen it this bad before.
No, me either.
All right, guys.
Glad-
We'll see you next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.